Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Denise from Sweet Peas and Saffron, and today I'm going to walk you through my meal prep routine. When I started meal prepping, I was super intimidated by everyone's neatly laid out meal prep containers. I thought I had to prep my breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, every meal, every portion of food, measured out, ready to go, and it was super intimidating. I want to show you my weekly meal prep routine because that is not what it looks like at all. After trial and error, I found a system that works for me. I actually don't even do a big meal prep session anymore. I do several mini sessions and they all really add up. So at one point in my life, I did do one big meal prep session a week. It was about a 2 to 3 hour session. It totally destroyed the kitchen. But now I have 2 little kids, Zeph is 1, Kai is 5, and I just don't have even a full hour on Sunday to spend prepping in the kitchen. So what works for me these days is to break it down into several mini 30-minute sessions, and you guys are gonna be amazed at how much it adds up. So these days I keep things really simple. I focus on a few meals that cause me a lot of problems, so namely breakfast and lunches. I also like to make sure that we have healthy snacks in the fridge, and I don't actually meal prep our dinners. I will sometimes chop some vegetables up and have those ready. That has been incredibly helpful for getting dinner on the table. Just having like one little part of dinner taken care of really helps get you moving. Like I said, I don't do one big prep session anymore either. So when I find I have 5 free minutes, I'll throw some steel cut oats in the Instant Pot. Or when I'm cutting up dinner, I will cut up some extra vegetables and put them in the fridge. I really just try to multitask and make the most of like little pockets of time that I have here and there. I wanted to share this with you because if you are feeling like you don't have time for one huge big meal prep session on the weekend, I'm there with you. Life is super hectic right now, and I just wanted to tell you that these little 5-minute meal prep sessions here and there can make a huge difference through the week. So I'm going to walk you through what I do normally. Now, this is something that I would normally break up over a couple of days, so keep that in mind, but I'm going to show you the meals that I focus on and some of my core recipes that I make every week that just makes life so much easier for my family. So if you want to make exactly what I'm making today, I have a free printable shopping list for you on the blog, and I also have a prep list so you can print it out and it will walk you through exactly how I'm doing things today. And we're just gonna jump in. Let's go. So if there's one thing you should know about me, it's that I love using my appliances, especially for meal prep. So today I'm starting off by cooking a batch of rice in my rice cooker, and I'm going to use this for my honey sesame chicken lunch bowls. And I'm also going to cook a batch of steel cut oats in my Instant Pot. I cook steel cut oats every single week. I can cook this while I have a baby on my hip. It can naturally release for up to 3 hours with no issues. You can freeze the leftovers. Everybody pretty well loves them. And they're not really mushy like other oat recipes can be. So I'm just adding the steel cut oats, some vanilla, cinnamon, and I'm cooking them in water. And we're going to set our rice cooker and our Instant Pot behind so we can get prepping on other things. Now, every week I like to cook one sweet and one savory snack. This week for our sweet snack, we are making granola bars. And for making granola bars, I like to weigh out my ingredients because it's so much easier than messing around with measuring cups. So I have just weighed out some coconut oil, and now I'm weighing out some honey. And we're just going to simmer them together on the stove. And I'm also adding a tablespoon of espresso powder because I am making mocha granola bars. This is one of the 7 flavors on my site. I will link you to that. Now you just simmer the mixture until it gets bubbly like that for 1 minute. And then we are going to stir in some vanilla extract and a pinch of salt. And we're going to let that cool for 10 minutes. While our granola bars are cooling, we are going to start prepping the vegetables for our honey sesame chicken lunch bowls. This is one of the most popular recipes on my site, and it's, spoiler alert, really just a stir fry. And so I am going to use broccoli and snap peas in my honey sesame chicken lunch bowls. I'm also cutting up some boneless, skinless chicken breast into about 1-inch cubes, just bite-sized pieces. I'm also going to prep a sauce, and I'm adding some water, some reduced sodium soy sauce, honey, sesame oil, and red pepper flakes. You can leave these out if you don't like it spicy, and just some cornstarch to thicken. I'm going to give it a good shake up, and then I'll set it aside for when I'm ready to cook. So I'm ready to deal with my granola bars. I'm stirring in 3 cups of rolled oats, and just stir it until everything is nice and coated in that sauce. You want to do it while the sauce is still a little bit warm but not super hot. And I'm going to press this into a parchment-lined baking dish. Now, the key with these granola bars is you want to press them in really good, so I do several rounds with a spatula. Now I'm going to add some chocolate chips. I like to add them on top because they don't melt quite as much. And here's a little tip: if you spray your spatula with spray oil, it won't stick too bad to the granola bars. So I'm doing another round of pressing them in, and they are ready to go in the fridge. Next, we're going to start cooking our honey sesame chicken lunch bowls. So first I'm going to start by sauteing the veggies in some olive oil. I cook for about 7 minutes until the veggies are bright green and slightly tender. Remember with meal prep that you're going to be reheating these later, and so you don't want to overcook them because they will cook a little bit the second time when you reheat. I'm also going to cook the chicken breast. So this also cooks for about 7 minutes until it's no longer pink in the middle. And we're going to add our honey sesame chicken stir fry sauce. Make sure you give it a good shake up before you add it so that the cornstarch goes back into it, and you are going to simmer it until it's nice and thick. We're going to portion out our honey sesame chicken lunch bowls. So the rice that I was cooking in the rice cooker is done, so we'll portion out about half a cup per lunch bowl. And then we are going to add our veggies. I like to aim for about 1 cup of veggies per portion. And the best thing about these meal prep bowls is that you can freeze them. So if you find that you're not finishing them by the time 4 days is up, you can pop them in the freezer and you'll have a delicious lunch waiting for you another day. Make sure you drizzle with all the extra sauce that's left in the frying pan and sprinkle with some sesame seeds, and we are done our honey sesame chicken lunch bowls. And now my steel cut oats, I've just stirred in some maple syrup, and I'll divide up the portion between 4 bowls. So this was 1 cup of uncooked steel cut oats, and it makes 4 portions. And then I'm going to add frozen berries on top. And I like adding frozen berries because they thaw out and release a lot of juice, and it just gives like some extra flavor to the oats. And there you go, our steel cut oats are done. Now I'm going to work on the savory snack. So I'm going to do what I like to call snack boxes, which is code for basically what is in my fridge and what do I need to use up and put in my snack box. So I'm going to add carrots. I have some pepperoni sticks and some cherry tomatoes and also a few cubes of cheese. And that is my super simple snack box, which is a nice healthy snack to reach for when you get hungry. And the last sort of segment of meal prep is what is in my fridge that I can chop. So I go and I look in my fridge and I see, is there anything that I can pre-chop for later this week? I am chopping up broccoli florets and slicing some carrots, and these will be used for roasting. If you're going to store your carrots for longer than 3 to 4 days, you might want to add a wet paper towel to keep them from drying out. But for roasting, I was good with how they are. And I'm also chopping up some bell pepper. Now, these you want to use within 3 to 4 days as they can end up getting a little bit mushy. We were just using these up in salads this week, so having them pre-chopped really saves me some time at 5 p.m. And I am storing these in my favorite Weck jars. And last but not least, I am cutting up a head of cauliflower. So I'm just cutting them up into florets, and I will be using them for roasting. But you can also rice your cauliflower. Riced cauliflower keeps really well for up to about a week, and you can freeze it as well. And that is what I do for chopping up veggies, just to make dinner a little bit easier. It is so awesome. So that takes care of my weekly meal prep routine. This is a system that worked for my family right now in 2019. Who knows? Next year it might be completely different and I'll have to share a new video with you guys then. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe for more healthy meal prep recipes.